My name is Lisa Franks, and I live in my wheelchair-accessible campervan. I'm Canadian, and where I come from has long, harsh winters, so I have spent my last 3 winters in California. Being away from snow allows me to embrace the outdoors with activities like surfing and mountain biking. Canadians are allowed 180 days in the US each year. I left California 2 weeks ago, but with 178 days in the US already, it's now time for me to return to Canada. Okay, it's 9 p.m. and I am so close to the Canada-US border, but it's dark out and my actual destination, where I plan on spending a few days, is still 3 hours from here. So I pulled over. I'm gonna spend the night here. I'm just at a rest stop, so I'm off the interstate. You can hear traffic going by, so it's gonna be an adjustment compared to the last 2 weeks that have just been sleeping in the middle of nowhere and lots of quiet nights. But I'm planning on getting up early in the morning and beating traffic so I don't get caught in rush hour, and finally making the trek back to my homeland, back to Canada in the morning. So hopefully just have a good night tonight, get some good sleep, and then be back on the road and back in Canada tomorrow. The advantage of arriving to the border very early in the morning means no lineups. Hi there.
Saskatchewan place, is it?
Yes.
Where do you live?
Saskatchewan.
What was the nature of your trip?
Just getting away from winter.
Where did you go?
California, Southern
Are you by
California.
yourself right now?
Yeah.
All right. Are there any goods returning from the United States you've either purchased or received?
No.
Where did you go?
Southern California to surf.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It was a good trip then.
It was great, yeah.
Welcome back.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you. Well, that was the easiest border crossing I've ever had.
Welcome to Canada. Continue on British Columbia 99 North for 15 kilometers.
$2,500 kilometers, 37 hours of driving, and 4 audiobooks later, I am back in Canada. That was the easiest border crossing I've ever had. He didn't even ask me any of the usual questions about if I own property or how long I was really gone. So that was smooth, and I'm just gonna head to the forest because I don't like people in cities. I mean, I like people, just not crowded cities. You know what I mean. I'm just enjoying my last glances at the ocean because from here on out I'm headed east and back to my home in Saskatchewan, which is very landlocked. I found this great free camp spot right next to a river, but I believe that rain is in the forecast, so I'll probably be spending most of my time inside the van. the rain finally let up and I can get outside. So I think I'm gonna cook outside today. It takes more time for me to get in and out of my vehicle because I have to get on my wheelchair lift. So when I do cook outside, I try to be very organized. I pack everything up so I can transport everything outside in one load and I don't have to get in and out of the van several times. There's a new recipe I've been wanting to try. Apparently it's been going viral on TikTok. It's like a crispy noodle dish, and the secret ingredient is this crisp chili sauce, I think it's called. So I don't know, we're gonna give it a go. The secret ingredient is this chili crisp oil, which I've never tried before. It has sort of a salty but savory flavor to it, and it goes well with this dish. I would make this dish again. I'll put the recipe in the video description. But really, it was just a pleasure for me to be outside after several days in the rain. I have been hanging out in this region for the past 5-6 days, and it's done nothing but rain, and it is supposed to drop to below freezing the next few days. And I was staying in this area because I was hoping to get some trail assessments done. For the past 3 years, I've been on a project where I go out and I ride trails and tell them how to make them more accessible, and now that's expanded to even more things beyond accessibility. So I really wanted to get this done, but the weather just isn't cooperating, so I think I'll have to table that until the fall, and it's time to move on. But it's a really beautiful area. I'm sad to leave, but I'm looking forward to warmer temperatures. I'm running lower on diesel, so that is what heats my van, and also it's been so overcast, my solar hasn't been doing a great job of powering my van, so it's time to find some warmer climates. So my next camp spot is about 4 hours away, but I have a package to pick up from FedEx en route, and I'm at the FedEx store right now, but I could not find an accessible entrance to the store. I kind of went all around and all I saw were a flight of stairs. And I'm trying to phone the store to see if there is a way to get in, and they're not answering. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just flag down a random passerby and have them go into the store for me and get an employee or somebody to come out and talk to me, because I'm out of options at this point. Hi.
Hi. Sorry, we don't actually have a wheelchair ramp access here. We've been complaining to the Strata for years.
Okay.
Was there anything I could help you with specifically?
Yeah, I'm picking up a package.
Okay, do you have your ID? I can just go get it. Okay, Lisa, thanks. Okay, I'll be back in just a minute.
That did work. Somebody went into the store for me and I got the attention of one of the employees of FedEx, and he eventually brought my package out to me, but I'm so done with the city. I am headed back to nature, back where I feel comfortable and I don't have to be reminded of all the inaccessible features in this world. So I'm gonna go find a little camp spot by a lake. It is so calm and peaceful right now. I have the entire lake to myself. And the sun's popping out now. So get that solar goodness charge. Well, this was certainly not in the forecast and not in my plan. One of the major reasons I chose to do van life is because my home in Saskatchewan has brutal winters, like 5-6 months of winter. It'll get down to -40 and lots of snow. But being here right now, I can see that it's a beautiful thing. It is really pretty. It's really pretty when you're not stuck inside for 5 months because of snow. Or when you're not trying to get groceries and there's so much snow in the parking lot that your wheelchair can't make it through. Or when you just have to hibernate inside because outdoor activities are off the table. It is pretty. It's so quiet right now. I can have a new appreciation for snow because I don't have to stay here. I could hop in my van, drive to lower elevation, and be away from this. I'm gonna enjoy this today because I don't have to live through this for 6 months of the year anymore. I don't have to hibernate. So I think I'm gonna stay. I'm just gonna get cozy in the van and get that heater cranked. It's funny how life works out sometimes. I used to dread winter, the icy sidewalks and the inaccessible pathways and limitations imposed by my wheelchair. But now, with the freedom of my van, I've discovered a new way to experience this season. I can choose when and where to venture. I can choose to park at a white sand beach or enjoy the perfect serene snowfall. I can park where I feel the stillness of nature in a way I never could before. I've found a way to break free, to revel in the season's magic on my own terms. And as I sit here, watching the lake slowly freeze over, I realize that winter, like life itself, is what you choose to make of it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on the next adventure. Until then, keep it wheel, everyone.